I don't like to say it, but we really don't have any leadership right now. So we're kind of working on our own and thinking, well, what can we bring forward to move the city ahead and get past, you know, kind of the rhetoric from the election. We've got to get past that and move forward and get some things done for our taxpayers.
Lesley, I got a question for you, because
Sure.
I'm finding it very interesting now in public policy. The environment seems to be that you just want to undo everything that the previous government, previous council were involved with, without taking an objective view to see what would worked well, see what could be changed. What do you think is contributing to this?
Well, I would say that the whole tone has really changed, right? Like we see a different level of nastiness, you know, in the upcoming federal election. You saw it yourself in the provincial election. It's just not nice. And when you see this negativity and personal attacks at the municipal level, where two people actually have to work together in the same ward, it's very hurtful and very unprofessional. So you have to get past that negativity and people saying horrible things, and then to work with the person, right? And put that aside.
If I was Prime Minister of Canada, I would bring a moratorium in on Twitter for a year to see if we could bring, because I was a person that fundamentally believed in civility in public life.
Can we just put a moratorium on Twitter, period?
But that may be said tongue in cheek, but I think we're going to have to do something pretty extreme to bring civility back at the municipal level, at the provincial level, and indeed the federal level. Because I believe it's poisoning our democracy, and at the end of the day, it's going to keep good people from seeking public office.
Absolutely. Why would you sign up for, you know, that kind of negativity? Most people get into, especially municipal politics, because it's such a personal level of government. You really want to make a positive impact. You want to help people, and that's what I love, and I especially loved about municipal, because I didn't have a party leader telling me how I had to vote. I can vote for the best I can on behalf of the citizens who in my ward, whether they voted for me or not. I have to do my best to represent them.
I will argue, and I don't think there's very many people who would disagree with me, that elected officials should be held to a higher standard than people, than the regular constituents. That at the end of the day, where others would kind of be petty and kind of seek retaliation, that they should turn the other cheek and, you know what, I have to work with you over the next X number of years, so I will try to be civil even if you're not. And, it takes two to tango. So do you think that there's a degree of, the two sides kind of going at each other? Or do you think maybe, your own personal position should be, maybe I am being blindsided, maybe I am being treated unfairly, but you know what? I will continue to communicate and act professionally regardless of that.
Absolutely. I take the high road. I did my campaign. It was all very professional, followed every single rule, and I didn't get into the mud. I just stayed positive.
You just said that you find, at least I got the impression you were saying, your ward mate has been critical and you would find it difficult to work with her because of
No, I
things she
didn't
said?
mention anybody in particular.
You didn't say a name, but...
No, I didn't, but there was some negativity, and not from different candidates in different wards. I'm not saying anyone, and I won't say anyone in particular.
So you're not...
I'm not going to...
How are you getting along with your ward mate?
Well, we actually had a really good event last week. We carpooled out to Lang Pioneer Village together, had some good chats, and we presented the Sustainable Peterborough Awards together, and it was a lot of fun. And we actually, arm in arm, and said, yeah, we're the first two female councillors in an award, we think, in the history of Peterborough. And I asked Mayor Sutherland about this, and she believes that to be true too. The one time before, where there were 4 women, there were different wards, right?
That's right.
So never 2 women in the same ward. So there's a little bit of history.
I served with Nancy Branscombe for one term, and of course my great friend Glenn Padgett for the other 15 years that I was served autonomy ward. So
yes.
Well, I'm certainly one of the ones that's also very happy that we have a greater amount of diversity on council as well, and bring more people of color and women and everybody else to the table as well.
Absolutely.
So
and if we don't get into that negativity, you'll continue to have more women involved. Otherwise, we'll just say, nope, thank you.
What would you like to see council do? You obviously want to see them get past that negativity that you're worried about, and you want them, as Henry Clark also said, to be more active and proactive. First year, what would you see as a good goal for this council, something that you'd like to get done?
Well, we've got over a couple of hurdles already from the election, and and actually, again, Mayor Sutherland really hit the nail on the head in her one column when, you know, people were being promised that certain things were going to happen, but nobody asked, well, how are you going to do that? Right? And we knew that certain things could not be undone. A legal contract's a legal contract, and the minister's order is the minister's order, and we're stuck with it. Unless we actually have some political will to go to the minister and ask him if he will let us do, for example, I would love to see that connecting piece. I call it the Medical Drive Southern Extension, because I don't like that P word, and I'm not going to use it.
You did that very well without using the P word.
And I know, and I'm not going to, but that piece, I mean, and I heard Councillor Clark say it. I could have arrived and said, yeah, everything he said. But it's true. There is very strong support to get that southern piece done, so you can get from the 115 to the hospital without going jaggy all over the place, or the 115 to Park Hill. It just makes sense to do that piece. But not only can we not do that piece right now without special permission from the minister, we can't do anything on any of the alternative routes. We don't even have the authority right now to put a stop sign on any of the alternative routes. It's ridiculous.